Today we are going to talk about three-dimensional shapes, also called 3D shapes. Up until this point, we've only learned about two-dimensional or 2D shapes. The difference between 3D shapes and 2D shapes is 2D shapes have width and length, but they do not have height. If you turn a 2D shape on its side, it becomes really hard to see. It almost disappears, and that's what makes it a 2D shape. 3D shapes have width, length, and height. Length and height. And having that height makes it a 3D shape. 3D shapes you can turn any way you want, and they're always easy to see. We are going to talk about some common names for some 3D shapes, and we're going to talk about some attributes of 3D shapes. I'm going to use these tissues, which are a rectangular prism, to show you the attributes for these shapes, attributes of 3D shapes. So, the first attribute we're going to talk about is called faces. Face, like the face you have on your head and the face on the shape. The face could also be called the side, but with 3D shapes, it's best to call it a face. This shape has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 faces. Okay, the next attribute we're going to talk about for 3D shapes are corners and vertices. We've already talked about these a whole bunch, so I'm not going to go into too much detail. This shape has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 vertices or corners. It's best to call it a vertice because that is what mathematicians say, and this is math class, so we're all mathematicians here. Okay? Alright, the last thing we're going to talk about, or the last attribute, is edges. Edges are where two faces come together and meet. Here is one of the edges of this shape. Okay? Alright, now we're going to talk about some common 3D shapes, or names for common 3D shapes. The first shape we're going to talk about is a rectangular prism. This one should be pretty easy. The root word is rectangular, and we have this word prism. Prism basically means it's a 3D rectangle, or a 3D shape. This is a rectangular prism. Still shaped like a rectangle, but it is a 3D rectangle. Width, length, and height. Okay? Some attributes of rectangular prisms are they have 6 faces and 8 vertices. Okay? The next shape we're going to talk about is a cube. This is very similar to a rectangular prism. However, the difference is, on a rectangular prism, some of the sides are different lengths, or some of the faces are different lengths from one another. On a cube, sorry, my cube's not very easy to see and it's very small. A cube, every face and edge is the same length and size. Okay? Everything is equal on a cube. Everything is not equal with a rectangular prism. Another shape we're going to talk about is a sphere. A sphere is basically a fancy math word for a circle or a ball. A sphere is a 3D circle. It has no corners or edges, just one big curved face that wraps all the way around. The next shape we're going to talk about is called a cone. A cone. A cone looks like this. You could also think about an ice cream cone that you might eat. A cone has one curved face that wraps all the way around. It goes up to a point on the very end. And my cone doesn't have a flat face, but most cones would have a flat or straight face on the top right here. Okay? The next shape we're going to talk about is called a cylinder. Cylinder. And cylinders look like a can of tomato sauce or a can of soup. They have a curved face and two flat faces. They have two edges, curved edges, and no corners. This is called a cylinder. Okay? All right, that is the lesson. For today's activity and assignment, you need to either take a picture or record a video of yourself. I want you to play I Spy. We are going to look around the house, and I want you to find something that looks like one of the shapes we talked about today. Find something that looks like one of these shapes. And then I want you to take a picture of the shape or make a video holding the shape and tell me some attributes about the shape. For example, I found this cylinder. So I'm going to make a video of me with the cylinder, and I'm going to tell you some attributes of my cylinder. One attribute is my cylinder has a round face. Another attribute is my cylinder has two edges. Another attribute of my cylinder is it's brown and small. Okay? That is all you have to do for your assignment. You can either take a picture and type the attributes, or you can record a video like I did and show me the shape and tell me the attributes. Completely up to you. Remember, if you have any questions or need any help, you can always call me or message me online or Seesaw. Goodbye, everyone.